Hello and welcome back to Vinralandia. Last time we continued expanding Little Transylvania. Look at it. The sock of the vampires being created before our very eyes. We added not only a lot of roads and a lot of buildings, but we also added a bus line to Little Transylvania that connects up to Wittsville, somewhere in here. All of these buildings look really weird. They're all slightly blue. That's weird. It's concerning. I'm going to stop looking at that. Anyway, and pretty much, yeah, Little Transylvania has been building up quite nicely. It is going to be very small, though. Very small. It's going to live up to its name quite well. Come on, Little Transylvania. Not all of your pipes are hooked up. You have to have full pipe hookup, or else your city will not thrive in the face of creation. Which doesn't make any sense. That sentence was beyond my understanding, quite personally. Even though I said it. You know. I don't know if you've noticed, but I occasionally say things that I don't understand. And it's just for the better that we brush over all of that and move on. Because I don't understand it any more now than I did before. Okay. Look at Little Transylvania, just slowly growing up, getting some nice commercial buildings over here, some residents in here, a few offices over yon. Overall, pretty good. Let's see, what can we do while that builds up? Do we have... Well, that's what we're going to be doing. We need the Jolly City Central bus line. Okay. Let's build it up right now, because it's going to be incredibly important that Jolly City Central has a bus line that connects the entirety of the city together so that they can be more in unison than they were before. Because right now, they're in unison, but they're also slightly divided by the fact that they don't have a bus line. They're only connected to the rest of the city, not to themselves, and it's key that they better understand how to be connected to one another. If that all sounds like ridiculous mumbo-jumbo, probably because it's ridiculous mumbo-jumbo. You just have to go with it. Believe me. Okay, so our next line is going to come down through the other half of Jolly City Central. What Jolly City Central is going to have is two separate bus lines that connect at the top of the city. So we're going to have these bus lines come around like this, all over the place. Crazy nonsense like all this jazz. And then it's going to connect up to the other line. And then we're going to have a unique line. Oops. Let's just connect it right here. There we go. That's how we want to do it. And then we want another line to go out and connect up somewhere with the rest of the city. Probably going to go down to Boss Central, because that's a good place to go, you know? It's good. Where are the actual stops here? I can't see them. Is it this one right here? That's an actual stop. We'll just have it come right to here and then go directly back. That will be all, and that will connect Jolly City Central with the rest of the city as it should be. Very nice. We now have a jolly bus line. Question is, what shall it be named? What color shall it be? It's so important. These are the questions of our generation. Let's see. Okay. This shall be called Jolly Residence Express. And it shall, of course, be a nice shade of green as it travels through the residence of Jolly City Central. I do believe I said that it was not bus line 10, it's Jolly Residence Express. You know you want that, Jolly City Central. You know it. Don't play the fool with me. And this one shall be called the Office Emporium Traveler. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. Okay, it's the Office Emporium Traveler. It's a ridiculous name, it's beyond my understanding. What sort of a color should it be? Perhaps this color. I don't know what color that is. It's really weird. Once again, it did not connect this. This is the Office Emporium Traveler. Thank you. I'm not sure if that was exactly what it was named, but that's what it's named now, so it's fine. And this one, the Jolly Connection. Enter, so that it actually keeps it. Thank you very much, game. Will be pink, to represent just how jolly it actually is. And there we go. We now have bus lines all throughout Jolly City Central, connecting it, of course, to the rest of the city in a mesh of ridiculous public transport. Look at how many people ride these things. We get 2,200 people riding the metro a week. That's terrible. And we get 1,131 people riding the bus a week. Also terrible. 9 people in a plane per week. Also terrible. It's really bad. Only 3,000 people in our city of 84,000 actually use the public transportation. We're going to need to have a chat with them about that. That's pretty bad. Look, there's public transportation out there, and you need to use it. Because if you don't use the public transportation, you're going to absolutely clog up the roads because the roads aren't built very well. Because they were built by me. I don't think you understand this, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it all up as I go. And making it all up as I go is not a good way to build a sustainable city. Jeez. Come on, people. Just sit down and we'll have a chat about precisely how to use public transportation. Number 1. You must find the route of public transportation that you need to have. Because, of course, you can do nothing until you know precisely what form and which line of public transportation you want to use. If you are confused about this, please look at your local public transportation website, www.stopusingyourcars.com, and it will tell you all about all of the different potential lines and where you could possibly go to. Next, you wait. You go out there, you find the bus stop, and you wait. If it happens to be that you have work in like multiple hours, like 20 or something, it's best that you make sure that you don't miss the bus. Believe me, this is very important. So instead of like, I don't know, being a scrub lord and waiting in your home where the bus isn't going to come, geez, you could just wait. Listen to this. At the bus stop for the whole 20 hours. Make sure you pack a tent. Make sure you have some nice rations while you're waiting out there. If there happen to be other people waiting for the bus, make sure that if they have loot, that you take it all. You attack them, you then steal their loot, and you run off with it. Because if you don't run off with it, they're going to chase you down. And they might be faster than you, and you need to make sure that they don't catch you. Because if they do catch you, they're going to steal your loot. Which is also another fine point about public transportation. Make sure you hide your loot. Because if you don't hide your loot, other people will see the loot. And they will follow the previous rule about how you always need to loot people. And they will steal your stuff. So just make sure that they don't know that you have any loot at all, and you'll be fine. You'll be brilliant. Of course, the next rule of public transportation is to get upon the form of public transportation. that you are looking for. You're going to have to pay, of course. There's no free public transportation here. You're going to have to pay lots of money for it. So have your money ready, preferably in gold bullion. If not in gold bullion, maybe like in platinum or copper, maybe diamonds, something that is unlikely to devalue anytime soon. Please place these in the fine hands of the operator of the vehicle. He will pocket 10% of your costs because it is important that he does that. It's really key to his overall job that he pockets part of the cash. We understand that there is that corruption in the system. We have allowed it. It is important. Just leave it. Next, you must find your seat. This is going to be one of the hardest parts of taking the public transportation, as this is where the most bloodshed actually occurs. It is a well circulated myth that the most bloodshed occurs when you are taking the loot, but in reality, the seats are the most vicious. If you don't get a seat, you're going to have to stand, and if you stand, you will be tired, and the next time someone sees that you have loot, then it'll be harder for you to fight back. So make sure you have a knife of at least 3 inches, maybe 4, and you need to use your eyes to search for a seat. When you find the seat that you want, do not allow anyone else to have it. Stop them by any means necessary. This is where the knife comes in to play. You could choose to potentially just stop them, say, "Stop, I'm going to use this knife." On the other hand, it's probably best that you actually use the knife, because if you don't use the knife, they're going to realize that you are just faking it, and they are going to attempt to take the knife from you. So just use the knife, give them a couple stabs to the gut, push them off of the chair, and sit down. And then you need to make sure at all times 2 things. 1, there is no visible loot. This is the most important lesson you can learn. When riding the subway, have no visible loot at all, or else people will attack you for it. Also make sure that your weapon is in plain view, so that anyone who does get the idea that they want to take your seat, they realize you have a very large knife. Okay, you've gotten your seat. The next thing you need to do is wait until you get to your stop. All that you need to do is put on a bit of war paint, a few fake scars, and keep your weapon visible, and no one will mess with you because you look ridiculous. They'll go mess with the granny over there on the side, and it'll be fine. Once you get to your destination, get out of the vehicle. Ensure, once again, that there's no loot visible, because the people getting on will attempt to take the loot. The people getting off may also attempt to take the loot. If anyone does try to take your loot, use your weapon. It's very important. You have to prove that you mean business. So do a little knife, 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 knife. It'll be fine. Finally, it is very important that you then go to your place of work, because you cannot remain near to the area with the public transportation. If you remain in that area, you can't take your loot out. And you need to use your loot for your job, because of course you are a bard, and bards need to strum their lutes every now and again. So make sure that you go to your job before you take out your loot. Okay. Now you have arrived at your job. All that you need to do is work the prerequisite amount of hours, return, of course, following all of the steps, in the same order, of course, to get back home. I know this sounds like a really complex way of using the public transportation system, but believe me, it is very effective, very important. And if you don't follow these rules, you're going to have some problems. Because, of course, people are going to be vicious on public transportation. It is an inevitability of life that people are going to be terribly vicious. One time, there was a report that a 3-year-old child took out nunchucks on the metro the other day in Little Transylvania and attacked a man wielding a machete. The 3-year-old, of course, won because nunchucks beat machete. That's obvious. I mean, if you need to have that lesson, you're a bit far gone to be using public transportation. You should probably try just using your vehicle, which has been said to be much safer, but far less intriguing, far less interesting. Just be careful on the public transportation. That's what I'm saying. There's a reason so few people use it in this city. Only the strongest actually survive the public transportation at all. Yeah, that's very good lessons just taught right there. Oh, my goodness. Okay. The elementary school. The school, not Skolu, the school of the blood. Enter. It teaches you all the different types of blood that could possibly be available. It's very important that the people of Vinralandia, and specifically the people of Little Transylvania, understand the different types of blood. Because if they don't, there's going to be a big problem. They're going to be eating the wrong type of blood. And nobody wants to eat the wrong type of blood. That's disgusting. That's like, pretty much what'll happen is you'll be going for like a nice piece of like beef blood, a nice packet of that stuff, and you'll be going in there, you'll like rifle through everything, and then you're gonna pick up a little bag of rat's blood, and that's bad. Rat's blood is disgusting. It's so bad. At least so I've heard. I'm not a vampire, of course, so I don't actually know for certain if rat's blood is disgusting, because not being a vampire, I wouldn't possibly ever even think of drinking rat's blood. That's so terrible. That's a bad thought. Oh, such a bad thought. But yeah, it's very important to know your types of blood, people. Very important. Okay, I've noticed that there's a massive lack of university up here. Is there a massive lack of university? No, people seem to be going to university everywhere except for Cultopia. Cultopia does not believe in university because, of course, the nearest university is the University Circle of Spherity, which is meant to bring together both Cultopia and Goatsburg. And both of these sections are very much against that idea because it's ridiculous. Bringing these two together, it's impossible. That's why we put not one but 2 roundabouts between the two of them, just to make sure they were as separated as possible. Yes, well, the city is building up. Little Transylvania still has some open spots, and it's going to continue to build up to the point that, of course, I don't know, we run out of spots to build things, I guess. And once it's done that, we expand even further. We're at 85,000 people, by the way. 85,500. Except now it's 85,400. So thank you very much, people who just died in the city. That's just amazing. Well, yes. With this, I think we'll come to the end of the episode. Let me get into cinematic view. Boom, cinematic view. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Always be careful on the public transportation. Make sure you have a weapon. You just have to be really, really careful, because it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and you need to watch out. But regardless, thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.